Hey guys, welcome to Tina's Self-Talk. I wanted to get on here and kind of speak to what I mentioned in my shorts yesterday about saying no is saying yes to yourself. So I wanted to come on here and talk about that. Excuse my messy hair. I just came from the gym and I took a shower and washed my hair, and now I have some design conditioner in there. So that's the white stuff that you're seeing. So anyway, like I always mention in my videos, not always mention, but I've mentioned in a couple of my videos, is unscripted. It is here and now. This is life. Life is sometimes chaotic, and this is mine. And so before I'll get ready for bed, I wanted to get on here and just talk about what I what I mentioned yesterday in my shorts video. And so let's jump into it. All right, guys. So guys, ladies, whoever is watching, whoever's listening, I want you to realize that saying no is a yes to yourself. And that's okay. A lot of times we feel like we always have to say yes to everything, everyone, even people in our family, even our kids, even our spouses. But in the end, who are you wearing out? You're wearing out yourself. And so it's hard to pour into someone if you're empty. So I believe you need to remember to give yourself grace, and to know that you're just a human. You're human. You're only human, and you get tired. You're not the Energizer bunny that has batteries, and if you feel like you're running, being run down, then we can put new batteries in you. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to allow your mind to rest. You have to allow your mind to process certain things, and that's part of self-care, and that is what a lot of people, I believe, are lacking mentally these days. Is a lot of self-care and saying yes to themselves and no to other people, and being okay with that. It took me a long time, many years, to realize that. I'm in my 40s, and so I can't say that it took, forever, but it did take me a couple of years to realize that it's okay to say no and to have boundaries. And anyway, if someone is always depending on you for certain things and for you to fill them up, that's going to leave you dry. And so you're not able to give to yourself or give to your family the best way that you should be capable of, because you're continually replenishing someone else's needs and taking care of their wants, their desires. And to me, that's not fair. And so I think you need to give yourself grace. I took a couple of notes kind of to keep my mind on track. And the next thing, the next point I want to say, it's okay to be not okay for a moment. Friday, I came home. I wasn't feeling well Thursday. I kind of know when my body is just tired, it's drained. But I came home. It seemed like it was a long day, and I just didn't feel like dealing with people. And there's not a lot of people in my house. My kids are grown. I have two, my two oldest children don't live with me anymore, and my youngest biological child still stays home, but she's no bother. She's 20. So she's either at work or at a friend's house. But anyway, I just didn't feel like talking, let me say that. And I didn't mind listening, but I just didn't feel like I called peopling. And so I just really, my husband kept asking, what's wrong with you, babe? What's wrong with you? I didn't know. I did know, but I didn't know how to explain it. I just didn't feel like being bothered. And so he kind of left it alone. He was okay with that. So that's another thing to having self-care, is having that support at home, that spouse or those kids that are willing to understand that sometimes you're just empty, you're just tired, and you need to have time to yourself, and that's important. And so I went and got into maybe a bubble bath, and I wanted to listen to some type of podcast or something quiet. That's what I normally like to listen to, jazz or something, when I'm soaking in the bathtub. And so, yeah, and I just sat there. Just trying to just not think about anything, really. I just wanted to be. And so then I texted my husband afterwards, after I got out, and I just needed him. I just needed a hug. I didn't want him to fix anything. I didn't want him to say much. I just needed to be held. And that was just what I needed at that time. And some of you can probably attest to that. Sometimes you don't want anyone to fix it. You just need someone to listen, or someone to give you a hug, or someone to understand what you're going through, you know. Sometimes, a lot of times, we just want to vent and be heard, be seen, and that's okay. Another thing that I think that's wise is to have discernment. Have discernment when it's time to draw the lines and have boundaries in your life. And what I mean by that is, even when it comes to church, being involved in certain ministries or certain organizations or certain things at work, sometimes you just don't want to do it. You're just tired. You can't go around being a people pleaser, because that's going to wear you out. And there's always somebody else that's willing to step up. That's somebody who wants to do it, but probably has been put on the back burner because you're always there. Is what I heard once before. I think it was Priscilla Shire who was talking to her sister Crystal Hurst Evans. I'm not sure if you ever listened to their podcast, but I believe she mentioned that sometimes she has to know to say no to certain speaking engagements. And this is Priscilla talking about that sometimes she has to say no, and it's giving that other person that has never been in the forefront a chance to evolve, to morph into this grand speaker that they have been desiring to be, because she has decided to draw the lines and to take care of herself, to take care of her family. And those are things that you need to be able to discern, is to give people space or give people room that has never had that chance, because you have been given that chance over and over and over. And I'm not saying that you can't be used, or it doesn't feel great to be used and to be a servant, especially when you're serving for God's kingdom. But sometimes you need to have those boundaries. You need to have that break to be still, to be quiet, to listen to God's voice, and to be in the background, giving somebody else that chance to to bring forth something that maybe you don't have inside of you. And so I think that is very, very important, especially in the body of Christ. We all have something to give, you know. We all can be a part of the same service, or trying to provide the same service, but we have different giftings to give, if that makes sense. And so I think that's important. So yeah. So I think that is very important. It's for people to start realizing that saying no is saying yes to yourself, because once again, it's hard to pour into something when you don't have enough to give from yourself. And when you're sick and you're tired, you know, sometimes you don't have someone to take care of you. So you are the caretaker. And so, yeah. Right now I'm thinking of a family member, an in-law, right now, that she's always giving. She's always pouring into people. She's wearing herself out. And she's up in age, you know, she's retired. She should be living her best life, you know, traveling. But she's pouring into so many people. Well, not so many people. I guess she is, if you want to talk about her grandkids. And she hasn't learned to say no. I don't know why. But I've seen certain posts, and I can see that she's tired, but she doesn't know how to say no, and it's running her ragged. And so I just pray that her health is going to be up to par in a couple of years. And I'm wondering who's going to be taking care of her, because she's always been the caretaker of the family. And so you don't want to find yourself in that type of situation where you feel like you're being used, but you don't know how to speak up. You don't know how to speak out. And so if anything that you can take from today's video is take care of you, take care of yourself, so you can be a blessing to others properly. And to remember, saying no is saying yes to yourself. Bye. This is Tina from Tina Self Talk. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.